I'm Advige and I'm a coastal magnolia and I live in coastal Florida. So the beach is my inspiration for just about everything that I do, from painting wine glasses to sculpture to coasters, you name it. And you can see here I have some pallets, and I never have to go very far to find these, but I use reclaimed wood in a lot of things that I do, and I really never have to look very far. These were discarded on the side of the road, and I picked them up, dragged them home on the golf cart, and so this is what I'm going to be using today for my next project. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. So we have a lot of work to do. Let's get started. I use a Sawzall to cut my pallets apart into smaller pieces to make them a little bit more manageable, and then I take a piece on the back, a piece of wood, it's like the spine of the fish, and I'm just using wood glue and an air nailer to nail the pieces to that backer board. All right, this one, I don't know what it's gonna be. I really wanna use that for an eye. I kind of like all that. Let's see if I can keep that. So I do spend a good bit of time drawing out the basic shape of the fish. And when I say basic, you will see that sometimes I follow that line and sometimes I sort of deviate from it. But, you know, I just try to get the basic idea of, you know, the fish that I'm trying to create. And I really, with this one, kind of didn't know what I was going to make. But now I'm cutting out the shape with my jigsaw, and I did put a fresh blade in it so that I'm getting some good, clean, nice, clean cuts here.
He's so lopsided.
So yeah, he's a little lopsided, so back to the drawing board with my pencil, just straightening out my edges a little bit, and then giving it another go with the jigsaw. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I guess I just didn't pay close enough attention to my shape, but I did decide to leave that top, that middle white piece, because I think that'll make a really cool top fin somehow. But boy, he is really fat, isn't he? He turns out okay. Now I'm just taking scrap pieces of wood from the cutout and making a tail for our fish. And using my Bostik air nailer with, I think it's 1.5" brad nails, just to put the back tail together and nail it to the board. I'm not going to use a paintbrush to paint this guy. I'm going to use a block of wood. It's super cool. Shake your body, shake it! All you need for this chippy paint technique is a block of wood and some paint, and I'm not applying it very thickly. It's very uneven, and you want that chippy, kind of a chippy layered look, and you just scrape the paint against, or scrape the block against the wood, and you're going to get a really uneven pattern, but that's what we want. It looks weathered and it looks really cool. This light blue paint is so dried out, it's almost like spackle. So I'm just taking a stick and spreading it around on the fish. Do you have a plan for the rest of this paint? I just don't know what yet. Ah, blew out my flip-flop. Well, this is a much better camera angle. Sorry about that. Now I'm adding color number 3. And with this angle, you can really see that I'm not attempting to cover the previous paint, but I'm just adding layers on top of it. So this is layer 3. And this is another Oops paint from Lowe's that I'm just applying with my wood block and trying not to get paint on my Magnolia shirt. And that's really it. It's just scraping it along and taking the edge of the block and sort of almost like you're sanding it, like you're sanding the different layers. It's really cool. The first 2 layers are dry, and now I'm going to put on a layer of white with my paint block. And this really adds a neat kind of a final touch, but it's just adding to the layers, and I'm just kind of chipping it on there and scraping it on there. I really like this technique. It's really fun. I hope you guys try it. It's really fun. After drying overnight, I moved Mr. Fish inside into my studio to add the final touches. And what I wanted to do was just do a little bit of highlighting on the exposed parts of the wood. And this is I want to say it's a rose gold. No. This is copper metallic. It's a Deco Art copper metallic, and it's just acrylic. I think it's acrylic metallic. And I'm kind of trying to decide between the copper and the aged bronze. I thought the aged bronze would be a good contrast, but it is a little darker. It's not as bright, and Mr. Fish is bright, so I ended up not using the bronze. I'm using the copper. So now that I've decided on the copper, I'm just taking a paintbrush, not a block, but I'm taking a paintbrush and just painting over some of the exposed, the bare wood that we didn't apply the paint to. And just doing that for an extra layer. So this would be layer 5, I think. And it's adding a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of highlight. This is almost 3 minutes of me painting copper highlights on this fish, so I'm speeding it up a little bit, but I end up putting the copper on, I think, every single place where the wood is exposed. It's bare wood, and I'm really glad I did that. It really added a lot of texture and visual interest to it. Love him. These 2 nail holes in the wood look like natural eyeballs, so I guess this guy is going to get some glass eyeballs. I just wanted to define him a little bit more, and I took some blue glass beads that match the paint already on him and just glued them down with some E6000. I have a mixture that I call mermaid trash, and it's a mixture of little tiny shells and crushed glass and sand and glitter. And I'm adding it to that little indentation in the wood, the 2 little indentations in the wood, just because I needed to do something with them and not just leave them bare. So that's what I'm putting in there. And I'm also adding a little bit to his tail just to add another layer. And then drizzling Mod Podge on it to secure it.
Oh no.
Fixing my oops with a popsicle stick just to blend it in. It's not that big of a deal. It's fixable. Now this is Mod Podge, and I'm drizzling it on top of the mermaid trash, and it will seep down and secure it to the wood. Now Mr. Flounder is ready for a final coat of polyurethane just to seal everything up and get him ready for his big reveal. You don't need a paintbrush to paint, and you certainly don't need a canvas. Have some fun with this technique. All you need is a block of wood and your imagination. Appreciate everyone watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel. Cheers.